Good night. On behalf of Carrot Voice Radio, this is Anita Davis-DeFoe, and I have the pleasure to chat for just a couple moments with the incomparable Mr. Hugh Masekela, who has mesmerized the audience here in Minneapolis, Minnesota on a chilly night. Mr. Hugh Masekela, what an honor it is to chat with you.
Thank you, thank you. How can I help you?
Well, just tell me a little bit the inspiration for your music. It still wows audiences around the globe. It engages them, and you feel the passion from the stage. What drives you in your music?
Well, first of all, it's not my music because we're all born naked. We don't bring anything to the world. We get it from the people we grew up around. I come from a very musical country where people were passionate about music, and I happen to be obsessed with music from when I was an infant. And there's no secrets to it. This is all I've ever done. I've been a musician for 67 years, and it's just a major part of my life. It's the only part of my life other than myself.
Mm. What inspires you to
I
write
did.
the music?
I didn't have to be inspired. I just got possessed by music from when I was young, from when I was a kid, from when I was little. I don't have any inspirations. It's just inside.
Well, for musicians that are emerging and feel they have the passion, I know that the industry probably has changed tremendously. What advice, what words of wisdom would you share with them?
Um, there's no words of wisdom that can make any musician a better musician. You either got it or you don't. And if you got it, people will know when you're very young. And the only wisdom I can say is that if you are like 20 or 21 and people haven't noticed yet, it means you don't have it. So do other things. But in music, you can be can be an entertainment lawyer, you can be a manager, you can be a road manager, you can be a sound engineer. So there's all kinds of other things that are attached to the music world that you can get involved with. But you can't become a musician because you love music. Music is the kind of thing where you either got it or you don't. And if you don't got it, it'll never happen. You can't study talent. Talent is just, it's either there or it's not there. Whether it's soccer, whether it's tennis, whether it's cooking, you either got it or you don't.
One last question. In 2012, what's some of the things you have on your horizon that you want to accomplish this year? Although your career has been so tremendous, I mean, what else is it that you'd like
Well,
to do?
there's nothing I want to accomplish, but I've been working on a lot of things. I have my first novel coming out in April. It's a Johannesburg thriller that I've worked on for 13 years. And I've started a book publishing company with some other friends to bring out like novels that are out of the box, because usually novels are very intellectual, and I just figured that to encourage people of African origin to write sort of natural and organic feeling things, but that are entertaining and exciting, instead of trying to show us how well you know English. You entertain us. And I work a lot on heritage restoration, because as Africans we have been convinced throughout the years that our heritage is backward and barbaric and primitive and heathen and pagan, and there is no society that has more diversity heritage-wise than us. But because we've been convinced through politics and maybe partly through education and partly through religion and partly through advertisement mostly, we've been convinced that our thing is not happening. But if we do not bring it back into the visibility, everything that is God-given, that as African people we have, if we don't show it to our children, then and our grandchildren, when they ask them 30 years from now who they are, they're going to say, like many already say, they say we used to be Africans long ago. And it's a pity for a society that has so much wealth, you know, as far as pageantry is concerned, and pomp and diversity, not only in design but in dance and all kinds of music. But we are busy trying to be like other people, and we're the only society in the world. We're more than the Chinese, by the way, internationally, but we're the only society that doesn't sell anything. We just buy, because we have abandoned who we are. But if you look at every other society, they are really known by their culture. You know, we saw like the English have been there for like thousands of years, and they're a very modern society. But when Kate and William were getting married, they gave us a traditional medieval English wedding. But we can't pull that off, and we have much more than that. But not only did they do that, we were buying shortbread, biscuits, and flags, and you know what I mean? So there's big money in heritage. And it's one of the things that I'm pushing. I do a lot of community work. I push a lot of educational and health projects. I'm a gardener and a farmer. And I have also a studio and a record company, you know, with a few friends. And this group here, we have our first album coming out together at Easter time. And it's going to be called Masimu, which means in the fields. We're planting seeds. And what else? I'm into like theater and film production, and I also act on stage and in films. So like I'm not hoping to achieve things. I'm doing a lot of things. And I try and encourage everybody not to specialize, but to do as many things as you can. In case like if you have one skill and it depends on your pinky finger, if you lose that pinky, you've finished. So you should have alternatives.
Well, I thank you so much for taking the time. As I said earlier, I saw you in the Virgin Islands, and it was simply awesome. And there's a group that wants to bring you to Barbados, and so they told me to pass that on to you tonight.
Okay, well, that's not good enough. Tell them Bajan people, if they want to bring me, they shouldn't send messages.
I will tell them.
Us.
I will tell them.
Tell them